I imagine when you're driven by being intrigued and happy and seeking something fulfilling in life, the youthfulness goes along with you. You know, to touch a pictograph that could be hundreds or 1,000 years old is a palpable connection with the past and tradition that I very much want to be an active part of. These are probably larch, these silver ones. They'll burn like hardwood.
The thermometer reading about 10 minutes ago was minus 33 degrees Celsius. It's cold, but and the challenge is, or at least for me, is all this lashing up toboggans and finger work. So I try to do everything with my mitts on. Anyway, it looks like a great day. There's no wind, clear sky, sun's just coming up, and very, very beautiful out here.
Big 4 giant pads. Look at this one. Looks like there's enough, so it might have been some wolves. So I bet you there's a kill fairly close. These guys have been eating something little like beaver and something else.
Why, because it's fur?
It's very fine fur. It's not moose fur. And there might be some rabbit fur. There's white. Fine, fine white.
This is traditional winter travel. Though it looks nice, we don't travel like this for simple nostalgic reasons. We travel like this because we think it's the best way to move through this landscape when the lakes and rivers of the Canadian Boreal forest are covered in snow. This knowledge has been passed down for many generations by those who use this land to survive, most of our tools having evolved in the very landscape that we use them in today. Our leaders, Dave and Kai Maroney, were not born into this lifestyle, they chose it. They were inspired by a book written by Garrett and Alexandra Conover. Unbeknownst to Garrett, he has been their mentor and an important figure in their lives, though before this trip they had never properly met. They now have the privilege of leading him and the rest of our group north for 11 days as we cross the Arctic watershed divide into the headwaters of the famed Missinaibi river system in what could be the coldest winter in recent memory. We will catch a train 110 kilometers north of here on the CN rail line.
This kind of canoe and snowshoe trail life, I think, appeals to the hopelessly romantic, because you get a lot of colors of it, from history, from wildlife, from terrain, from autonomous skills that are derived from indigenous cultures that were at home in this landscape. And when you master them, you can be a self-contained traveling unit that's comfortable in a fairly difficult landscape.
Do you have pot?
So, is your personal toboggan done?
That makes things on mine? Yeah.
You're noticing the box is getting lighter already?
Yeah. So it's the morning of day 4, and last night the snow was coming down hard and is still coming down. It's coating the toboggans like crazy as we try to pack up. Today is very significant because we are crossing over the Haida land, so we're going into the Arctic watershed.
Oh, stuck?
The height of land is no great obstacle or wall, but more a symbol, letting us know that we're really in the north now.
Well, we're looking for the portage, but we're not sure which side of the creek it's on.
Colin, I'll go second last because the weight of this will pack it down nicely for two.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's pretty windy.
Take all the toboggans there, so we could be looking into a situation. It's 3:15 now, where we just have people sitting here while someone scouts the trail, and then it's 4 o'clock before we can even get started. So we didn't get as far as we want today, but we were saying that we've got right in behind here a beautiful sheltered spot to set up camp, get ourselves dry and recovered a little bit. It is going to mean we're starting to slip a little bit behind next place. Let's set a nice camp, pack a nice trail, have a good day tomorrow, and a good evening tonight.
Yeah.
Great job.
Woo!
Break.
Pretty hard going overall. You know, a lot of, not very cold, but wind in our faces, lots of snow. New crystals make the pulling a bit harder. And we put in a good long day. Everybody's tired, and I can tell because I drank every scrap of water I had today. So that means been breathing hard all day.
Today was a day that even I wonder why I come out and do this. And so while I was sort of being a bit negative, I guess, Hartman's like, I love this! This is awesome! And he's just running back and forth up and down the line, and it just made me sort of rethink the whole day, and I started to look around more, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Stupidly difficult, but awesome at the same time, and just, yeah. It's nice to be out at a time when, you know, if we were back at home and we got a storm, we'd probably just sit inside. And so that's one of the nice things about being on trip, is experiencing weather that you would often just avoid otherwise.
Like the little dry out poles too.
Boy, geez, I don't remember it being this hard.
Well,
It's a cold morning.
Aluminum tent poles are one of the few modern additions we've made to our gear. Every morning the sections freeze together when we take the tent down and cold air rushes into the joints. We gather around the coals from our previous night's fire to thaw them out, one by one. This morning starts with a long portage trail through the forest. While our snowshoes and toboggans excel on the flats, we sometimes have difficulties with strange inclines on these trails. The snow is much deeper in the forest, and our toboggans seem adept at finding tree wells and gullies. We send members ahead to build the route through the forest.
One, two.
Yesterday we finished the lake section, portaging between lakes. Came out on the little Missinaibi River, where our ice and water overflow problems are a lot more dynamic. With all this snow we've had, that's pushing down on where the river's frozen, and these are release valves for the water pressure coming up on top, going through the snowpack, causing us infinite slush problems in some places.
Just being conscious of wailing them.
Definitely slush.
We've done another 4 this morning. Will put us at 42 kilometers after 4.5 days of travel. That leaves us 60 kilometers for the remaining 4.5 days of travel, which is really, given the fact that we've been using almost all available daylight already, pretty significant challenge. So we really need to see some improving conditions to make our train on time.
How many days do we have left to travel?
4. 4 days to do 52 kilometers.
In 5 days we
that's
did
13
49.
That's 13
4
a day.
days we need 52.
That's 13 a day. But you can't count on every day being the same, or like this.
Sorry.
Well, let's do 20 tomorrow.
That's what I was hoping for, but not at 2 kilometers an hour.
20 tomorrow.
Yeah. But why do you smile? You think we're
12, 10, 8, 7,
11?
11. We can do 20. Oh yeah, no problem.
Grinning at me.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable saying you were making.
I'd say tomorrow's a key day. We've got to make a lot of kilometers tomorrow, and the morning's the time that we're going to make them. It's 6 a.m. and it's fully dark. We're breaking camp early in an effort to get going by first light. Minus 26 degrees this morning.
Soles of her shoes were just like her mother, bound by the words of each and one another. When I walk and she would go, just reflections in the snow, bound by the words that only she can know. I was with another who had too much to drink. Things you would learn if only you could think.
Seems like a good spot to camp.
Didn't remove anything.
20K, 1 day.
How much did we
I'm sore.
Okay, so it was a really hard day today, and we pretty much were forced into deciding to camp where we're camped right now, and we looked around and realized that really there was no wood readily available. So made the suggestion that instead of killing ourselves going deep into the forest and far away to get wood and even boughs, that we just use one tent tonight. And so here we are, all 9 of us, cozy and comfortable, and are about to spend the night all together. And finally I get to sleep with Garrett Conover.
Make hospital corners so if any wandering nurses should happen by, they'll be impressed. Nice mild morning. Leave your hands bare a long time. So it's possible the open water could migrate up into the lake a bit, or if it snaps cold, it could go down.
To many on this trip, Garrett Conover is a truly legendary character on the short list of modern winter travelers. It's unique to watch a man of this lore accept the leadership of two people half his age. We're finally about to start heading down the Missinaibi River, and we have high hopes that, because it's now mid-February, most of the moving water will be frozen and the travel will be easy.
Oh, you think they're going right through there?
Yeah. No?
I know, that's probably better. I agree. Less turns, the better.
Interesting day. Lots of variety.
Yeah. Let's hope that's all the interesting variety we get. I'm guessing, I mean, this part might, but up where those
This first section of the river feels strange and eerie. Just as we clear our first obstacle and start moving quickly down the river, Dave breaks through the ice up to his chest.
I didn't notice. I just had a breakthrough. Lots of adrenaline right now, a little bit shaky. And as I've always said, it always happens when you're not expecting it.
It was fast.
I saw the first one this year though.
I see this 5'8" guy in front of me, and then I see this 1.5 tall guy.
Keep walking.
Cook it with adrenaline.
Yeah.
How bad do you want your pull?
A little shaken by the events, we keep moving cautiously, only to have the scene repeated moments later.
Matt, did you ever feel bottom?
I didn't feel bottom, no.
Yeah. Well, we had a second breakthrough for this morning, and it's occurring in places where it's not really evident or predictable, which shakes the way you think of.
So we've had 2 out of 9 people fall through the ice thus far. They've been sort of freak fall throughs. It's obviously new ice here, but now I just sort of came up here and said, oh dang. This is a class 1 300 meter rapid, and there's no cut portage. So we're going to have to create our own portage this time.
Give them a call to start moving.
Okay.
Pretty clear that this is going to be our best bet.
Yeah.
So it's been a long day, but we're you know, we got some simple pleasures in life. We're enjoying some rye, and we got some wine inside. 21 clicks to go.
First time I used the rubber boots.
Oh, I sprayed that already.
The idea of exploring new areas is exciting to all of us out here. Unfamiliar places make us feel strangely comfortable. The route is unpredictable and we're constantly finding new ways to deal with the challenges of winter travel. Our leaders barely finding a moment to rest their minds. We can now relax as we walk past Boreal Rapids, knowing that we've cleared our last major obstacle and we will make our train home on time. We're on someone else's schedule now.
About 30-some years ago, one of my heroes was a guy named Hugh Stewart, and he would be considered by storyteller and conservationist Grey Owl a keeper of the trail. And he gave me the confidence to start running my own traditionalist trips. And we ended up, my wife and I at the time, ended up writing a book on winter travel. And another couple came along, probably half my age right now, read it, got influenced. We didn't know each other, but that's the way those ripples flow. And so it's a nice place for me to be, have had the honor of being on one of their trips, because I imagine, I feel now how Hugh Stewart might have felt when he found out he was one of my heroes. And we're each passing on a glowing ember from a campfire that started a long, long time ago. And we add something to it. We add our care and our love and our pleasure, and it gets passed on to someone who blows life into it, adds their own pieces, and runs with it. And sometime they will give it to somebody else. And that's the essence of keeping a trail.
Thanks for the wood.
Oh, I saw it on the back side of the car. We got it.
Ready for a starter kit?
Yeah, it can come in. We'll be ready for it very soon. Right? That's great.
Our green wood floor for the hobo fire.
Quick one.
Until there's a real clear physical or mental desire to change, I wanna keep doing this.
Love's unknown in the city's heart, I was told by an old face. On a bench I gave him half a glance and revulsion. Love's unknown in the city's heart. Heard a shadow saying so. I get him by the shore, a few cans and fear. No, no, love's unknown in the city's heart. There is no love in the cold city's heart. Love's unknown in the city's heart. A shopping cart made a remark. I was generous enough to step aside and let it pass. We are love in the city's heart. I was told by two long legs. I gave them by the road revulsion and fear. Just half a glance, I heard, hey baby.